Hashtag the candy apple vendor. The autumn fair sprawled across Miller's Park, like a patchwork quilt of light and laughter. Emma could maneuver her daughter's stroller through the crowd, calculating in her head whether they could afford one treat before heading home. "Mommy, look, apples." 3-year-old Lily pointed at a modest cart where crimson candy apples gleamed under string lights. The vendor looked up from his work, a man in his late 30s with kind eyes and flour-dusted jeans. "First one's free for the little princess," he said, his smile reaching the corners of his eyes. "Oh, we couldn't," Emma began. "I insist. Business has been good today." He handed Lily a perfectly coated apple on a stick. Emma studied him as Lily's face lit up with joy. There was something about this man, the way he moved with quiet confidence, the quality of his worn but well-made jacket. "Thank you. That's very kind." "I'm Marcus," he said. "I'm here every weekend." That's how it started. Every Saturday, Emma would bring Lily to the fair, and Marcus would be there with his candy apples. They began talking. About Lily's love of butterflies, about Emma's work as a seamstress taking in alterations at night after her day's shift at the grocery store. Marcus shared stories about traveling, about learning to make candy apples from his grandmother, about choosing a simple life. Emma never mentioned Lily's father, who'd left when she was pregnant, or the eviction notice tucked in her purse. Marcus never mentioned that the simple life he'd chosen was a deliberate escape from boardrooms and billion-dollar decisions. 3 months later, Marcus proposed under the same string lights where they'd met. "I know this seems fast," he said, kneeling beside the cart, "but I've never been more certain of anything. You and Lily, you're everything I didn't know I was searching for." Emma's hands trembled. "Marcus, I have nothing to offer you. I'm barely keeping us afloat. You have everything that matters." He slipped a simple silver band on her finger. "Marry me. Let me take care of you both." The wedding was small, a courthouse ceremony with Lily as her flower girl, throwing petals from a paper bag. Marcus's friend David stood as witness, an impeccably dressed man who kept checking his phone with increasing urgency. "Marcus." The Shanghai office called again. David whispered during the brief reception at a local diner. "The Henderson deal is falling apart. The board needs." "Tell them I'm on my honeymoon," Marcus said firmly, his arm around Emma's shoulders. Emma caught the exchange. "Is everything all right?" "Perfect," Marcus assured her. David worries too much about his business clients. They moved into Marcus's apartment, a modest 2-bedroom that Marcus insisted was temporary. "I've been saving," he explained. "We'll find something better soon." Emma threw herself into making a home, sewing curtains from discount fabric, teaching Lily letters at the kitchen table while Marcus worked his cart at the fair. At night, after Lily was asleep, Marcus would hold Emma close and whisper about the future. Maybe a small candy shop, maybe a house with yard. What Emma didn't see were the late-night phone calls Marcus took on the balcony, or the financial newspapers he hid in his car, or the way David's texts became increasingly desperate. "The company needs you. Your father's legacy needs you. This can't go on." 4 months into their marriage, Emma's world shifted. Lily fell on the playground, a bad break that required surgery. The hospital bills arrived like an avalanche. Emma worked double shifts, but the numbers were impossible. "We'll figure it out," Marcus said, but Emma saw the fear in his eyes, or what she thought was fear. It was actually Marcus wrestling with a decision he'd been avoiding. Then came the eviction notice from their landlord, who decided to sell the building. Emma broke down at the kitchen table. Bills scattered like fallen leaves. "I'm so sorry. You married into a disaster. You'd be better off." "Stop." Marcus knelt beside her chair. "Emma, I need to tell you something. I need to show you something." He pulled out his phone, opened a news article. The headline read, "Billionaire heir Marcus Wellington missing for over a year. Family offers reward." Emma stared at the photo of Marcus in a tailored suit, standing in front of a glass skyscraper, then at the man kneeling before her in a flour-dusted t-shirt. "I don't understand. My father built Wellington Industries. When he died, I was supposed to take over. But I was drowning in that world, the expectations, the emptiness. So I walked away. I thought I needed to find out who I was without the money." He took her hands. Then I found you, and Lily, and I learned that happiness isn't something you find. It's something you build with people you love. You're a billionaire. Emma's voice was flat with shock. I'm a man who fell in love with an extraordinary woman who married me when she thought I had nothing. Marcus's eyes glistened. You chose me for who I was, not what I had. Do you know how rare that is? How precious? Emma pulled her hands away, standing abruptly. You lied to me. I omitted the truth. I needed to test me, to see if the poor single mother was a gold digger. No. Marcus stood, anguished, to see if someone could love me. Just me. Everyone in my old life wanted something: money, connections, status. You wanted to split a candy apple with me. You worried about whether I could afford the ring. He gestured at the silver band. This cost $40. I have watches that cost more than cars, and this $40 ring means more to me than all of it. Emma sank back into her chair, overwhelmed. Our daughter needs surgery. We're being evicted, and you have billions of dollars. I'll take care of everything. The medical bills, a house, whatever you need. But Emma, he knelt again, vulnerable in a way she'd never seen. I need to know you still want me. Not Wellington Industries. Not the money. Me. Emma looked at this man who'd given Lily her first candy apple, who sang off-key lullabies, who held Emma through her nightmares about being homeless. Then she looked at the stranger in the photograph, polished and distant. The man I married, she said slowly, told me he learned candy apple making from his grandmother. Was that true? Yes, that was true. And you chose to run a cart at a street fair instead of a billion-dollar company? Yes. Then you're either the smartest man I've ever met or the craziest. A smile tugged at her lips. You're still the same person who puts extra caramel on Lily's apples, who dances with me in the kitchen, who chose us. Marcus's shoulders sagged with relief. But Marcus, Emma's voice turned firm. No more secrets. We're partners, equal partners. That means honesty about everything. Everything, he promised. And I'm still working. I'm not giving up my independence. I wouldn't dream of asking you to. Emma stood, pulling him up with her. Then let's go take care of our daughter. Together. And Marcus? After that, I think we need to talk about what you actually want to do with your life. Because I didn't marry a candy apple vendor or a billionaire. I married a man who's still figuring out who he wants to be. Marcus kissed her, tasting of caramel and second chances. I want to be yours. Lily's dad. Maybe we start a foundation. Help other single parents. Maybe I teach you the candy apple business and we franchise it. Maybe both. Maybe, Emma agreed. We just take it one day at a time. And they did, starting with taking care of Lily, then slowly building a life that blended both their worlds. Emma's fierce independence and Marcus's resources, her practicality and his dreams. The candy apple cart stayed, though, parked permanently in their new home's garage, a reminder that the best things in life often come wrapped in simplicity, chosen freely, and shared with love.